This is a quick video on how I do a copper ginkgo leaf. This video differs from many that I've done before because here I'm trying to use the simplest tools possible so that it opens it up to more people. For example, I'm usually using the oxygen acetylene torch, but in this case I'm using a propane cylinder. A cylinder that you can get at your local hardware or at your big box store, and they're about $5. Now, your first ginkgo leaf is probably not going to be as good as this one. Your second one will be, and the third one will be even better, because you begin adding your own personal embellishments. Rather like an adventure. Find a photo or a graphic of a ginkgo leaf. Paste it into your word processing program. I'm using Microsoft Word. Then enlarge to the size that you want and print it out. If necessary, like in this case, I needed to outline it, especially enlarging where the stem is attached so that there is enough material to wrap around the stem. Here I'm gluing the pattern with a glue stick. Cutting out the leaf with a pair of aviation shears. Using a felt marker to draw some lines to indicate the direction for the veining. Scalloping the top of the leaf. Here I'm using a rotary tool. If you don't have a rotary tool, a round file will also work. Unfortunately, the only round file I have is from my chainsaw. A larger round file would make it much quicker. Notice the leaf is held in a vise. Annealing. Here I'm using a propane torch. Below in the description is a link to a video explaining the annealing process. For a veining hammer, I use this hammer that I made. And my friend Gray, he uses this weld chipping hammer. And I just checked, and you can buy this weld chipping hammer for $5.07 at Lowe's. It's also available on Amazon for a bit more. Now the heat from the torch burned off the lines, and here I'm redoing the lines. Placing the annealed copper leaf on 2 layers of terracloth towel. If I vein right on the steel top table, it will not leave much of an indentation. So that's the reason for the terracloth towel. When the leaf is dark, it's hard to see what has been veined. Cleaning the copper with a wire brush will show what still needs to be veined. Here are several places that I've missed. So I'm annealing again. Flattening out the leaf, using something broad like this wooden mallet or a block of wood. I used a red-hot rod to burn these grooves into the block of wood. You could also use a small woodworking chisel. placing a steel rod on the leaf and lining it up with the groove in the board. Here I'm using a 3/16 inch steel rod. It's all cleaned up now and ready for the next step. For the stem, using a piece of 8-gauge copper wire, a pair of pliers, and beginning to form the copper around the stem. Then finish folding the copper right around that stem, as tight as I can get it. Now, the hook also is 8-gauge copper wire. Now, normally I would braze the stem and the hook to the leaf, but you can solder it on. But to make this as simple as possible, I'm using super glue. And here is the result.